Welcome, everybody, to another edition of MLB DFS Quick Hits. We got your Thursday, July 26th edition. We got a 9-game main slate to break down for. There's 2 day games that we're not going to talk about. D-backs at Cubs, White Sox at Angels. But we are talking about the night slate. Let's talk about those totals. Royals at Yankees, 9.5. Mets at Pirates, 8.5. Rays at Orioles. Waiting on that one is if we have Hunter Wood jumping in to be the opener in that one for Tampa Bay. Twins, Red Sox, 10. Phillies, Reds, 9.5. Washington, Miami, 8. Dodgers, Braves, 9. A's, Rangers, 11.5. Brewers, Giants, 8. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 9 or higher. I'm guessing Rays, Orioles is going to be pretty high as well. So over half the games have some nice hitting environments to target here. We look at the weather briefly. Mets at Pirates. Rain comes in later that night in Pittsburgh. Philadelphia, Cincy, 15 to 20% chances. Minnesota, Boston, wind blowing out the left. There's a couple other 15 to 20% chances out there. But all in all, it looks like we should have one of our better nights we've had in quite some time when it comes to looking at the weather. So knock on wood that we get it in. Let's kick it off with your DraftKings prices for the night. Kicking it off with your pitchers, your only guy above 10K. He's at 12K. He is Steven Strasburg going with the Miami Marlins. Strauss has been very hit and miss, one would say, this season. He's faced the Marlins once, though. 5 innings, 3 hits, 8 Ks for 27.7 DraftKings points per start. He's been much, much better on the road. A 2.33 ERA on the road compared to 5.21 at home. 25.8 DraftKings points on average on the road compared to 16 at home. Back-to-back rough starts. His last one was his first one off the DL, though. 4 2/3, 6 earned, 6 Ks. So it's a really good matchup in a pitcher-friendly ballpark there in Miami. You have a Miami team that strikes out 23% of the time. They are pesky, as we always talk about. They have a 3.4 total, second lowest on the slate. And they have a 127 ISO versus right-handed pitching. So Strasburg, if you want to go all the way to the top, is definitely a play. Cash game, almost. You have to. GPP, depends on what bats you want to find because there are some options down below. But Strasburg is by himself above in the top. Now we drop down to Nick Kingham, $9,400 at home against those New York Mets. Again, watch for the late rain there, but phenomenal spot here for Kingham. He's been great at home, a 2.9 ERA at home compared to 5.54 on the road, averaging almost 22 a game at home. In his last 3 starts, 16-7, 26-7, 21-9. That's against Cincy, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia. And we always like to target the Mets versus right-handed pitching against any pitching almost. They strike out 22% of the time versus righties. Kingham 23% K rate, 11% swinging strike, 42% ground ball. All very nice. Mets have the third lowest team total at 3.8. Lefties 357, but righties 288, and then the 306 WOBA, 163 ISO. Nothing to write home to mom about. So Nick Kingham at 94, you can definitely look at near the top if you don't want to go all the way to Strasburg. In your GPPs, if you want to put your cojones on the table and you want to roll the dice, you can put Anibal Sanchez out there against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yes, they're hot. Yes, they have a lot of lefties. He's faced them once this year, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned, 5 Ks for 19 DraftKings points. He's been very good at 1.99 ERA at home. His last 3 starts, 22-1, 20.5, 30.6 at the Nationals, home against the D-backs, at the Brew Crew. 3 respectable offenses. Now, the Dodgers have been white hot, but they do strike out almost 22% of the time against right-handed pitching. Anibal, 24% K rate, 40% ground ball. And one thing he does really, really well is limits the hard contact. They do have a 4.66 team total, a little about above middle of the pack. Lefties hit 317, righties only 276 versus Anibal Sanchez. So it's a risky play, but on GPPs, ownership will be very low with tremendous upside if you don't mind the risk of the Dodgers teeing off like they did to Zach Eflin. But maybe they'll do like they did to Jake Arrieta yesterday and not hit the damn baseball. So pick your poison. But very, very interesting spot there at the Anibal Sanchez at 8,300. Another one, and I think a pivot many will have, or you could pivot to Anibal Sanchez off this play at $8,200, is Sonny Gray. Yeah, he pitches much better on the road than at home this year. We've documented that. He's facing the Kansas City Royals team that's not good, though. He's faced them once this year, 8 innings, 4 hits, 105 Ks for 26.4 DraftKings points. His last 2 starts, 19.8, 31.1. That 19.8 came at home against the New York Mets. When you look at the... Wow, I just got an update. Steven Strasburg just got scratched as he is put on the 10-day disabled list So join the Slack chat, and we'll talk about who his replacement is, because I haven't seen who that is for tonight's game yet. So cross off Stephen Strasburg as we record the Quick Hits podcast, as he just got put on the disabled list. Interesting. Back to Sonny Gray, though. It's a Royals team that doesn't strike out a ton, 20% strikeout rate, but Sonny Gray is a minus 280 home favorite, which is outstanding at that price point at $8,200. A ground ball rate of 48% for Sonny Gray. So the peripherals, like we always say, look really good. Sometimes he has control issues, and he does give up a lot of hard contact. And that's why he struggles in Yankee Stadium, because you give up hard contact, especially the lefties, and the ball flies. But you look at the Royals, they have the lowest team total of 3.3 against Sonny Gray. Lefties do hit 369, so Mike Moustakas is a great play tonight. Righties 311. As a team, though, 291 Woba, 130 ISO, dreadful. Absolutely dreadful versus right-handed pitching. So Sonny Gray, 8,200, GPP play, just like Animal Sanchez. Both have their risks. Obviously, Sonny's got a much better matchup, much better matchup, but both very, very intriguing plays. So when you look at the 8K and above, you got Nick Kingham by himself up top. You got Sonny Gray 2, Animal Sanchez 3. Now we drop into the 7K ranges, as we might not have anybody above Nick Kingham tonight because Strasburg's gone. You got Derek Rodriguez of the San Francisco Giants. He's priced all the way up to 7,900 now, which is big for him, as he's been the highest he's been this year was 77 at one point in time. But the kid's been really good. 2.72 ERA, coming off a 23.3 point performance at the A's. He had 15-6 in Chicago, 8-8 against St. Louis, but then 23-5 at Arizona. 22-8 San Diego, 15-9, 14-8. Kid's been really, really, really good. He has shown a few hiccups here and there, but much better at home, averaging 17.3 points per start. At home, you face a Milwaukee team that strikes out 25% of the time, and Derek has strikeout stuff, so something we definitely want to look at there. Doesn't walk a ton, does give up hard contact, though. Over a 41% hard contact rate. It is ideal? No. But he's pitching at AT&T Park, which is huge. The Brew Crew have a 3.9 team total. It is fourth lowest on the slate. Lefties 338, righties 280. Derek Rodriguez definitely makes a play at $7,900, and he should be low owned as well. When you go below Derek Rodriguez, you look at Mr. Ranger Suarez of the Philadelphia Phillies. The rookie got the call. He's $7,100. He is really, really good. He was one of the top options Baltimore wanted back in the Manny Machado deal. Between AA and AAA this year, he has a 2.38 ERA and 15 starts and 90 innings pitched. He had 66 strikeouts, so 6.6 K per nine, so not a huge strikeout guy. Before this, his last couple of years, or last year, he had a 9.4 K per nine, so something to think about there. Righties do hit him a little harder than lefties. We will go with that one. But when you look at his game logs, as Baseball Reference loads to that, he's been very, very effective this year. It's $7,100. Do you want to go there? Maybe. A lot of narrative street. Gomber made his start debut. Ponce de Leon released recently against Cincinnati. Both shut them down. No hit bids. The thing with Suarez here, he is stretched out. His last two starts, 65 and 69 pitches, but prior to that, 80, 87, 93, 102, 87. He should be able to give you at least 5 innings. He's got 5 or more in all but like one start recently. So he's really got the innings in. Interesting pitcher at $7,100. Is he a must play? Not at all. Not a must play at all. But he's very, very intriguing in a matchup against Cincinnati that strike out 21% of the time versus left-handed pitching. So something to think about there. At the same time, Eugenio Suarez, Adam Duvall, definite options you can target there. But he is an interesting player. The last guy up here is Brian Johnson of the Boston Red Sox at $7,000. Coming at you at home against the Minnesota Twins, coming off an 18.3 point performance against Detroit, 12.9 against Toronto. But we've seen him put up big, big numbers and seen him struggle a bit at times. That's why he's $7,000. But he goes up against a Minnesota Twins team that does have its strikeouts. They strike out 23.6% of the time versus left-handed pitching. Definitely something we like to look at there. And, a 301 WOBA, a 122 ISO versus left-handed pitching. So it's a great spot because they have struggled tremendously against left-handed pitching. If you're not using Johnson, Brian Dozier is a great play. Outside of Brian Dozier, they've struggled tremendously versus left-handed pitching. So Brian Johnson at 7K is an option for you. So in this 7K and above, I got Derek Johnson 1, Brian Johnson 2, Suarez 3. Now the fun one. Below 7K sucks. It really does. The only dart I'm going to give you, if you want to go there, and this one's a really big dart, but he's $4,900. He's at home. He's got a little revenge narrative in play. It is Alex Cobb, who's gone 13.1, 12.1, 6.5, 14.2, minus 4.7, 22.2, 12.4, so minus 7, 27.7. He's boomer bust. We've seen the minus 7 was against Toronto and Seattle, but a ton of 12-plus point games with the 20-plus point upside, facing a Tampa Bay team that could really light him on fire, or they could just take it easy on him. When you look at the Cobb, lefties hit 314, righties 137. So, or no. That's the WOBA 314, ISO 137 versus right-handed pitching. So, Cobb is definitely an option at $4,900. It's risky, it's nasty, but he's definitely an option for someone to look at. So, recapping your pitching, you got Kingham, Sonny Gray, Anibal Sanchez at the 8K and above range. Depends on your risk level. In the 7K range, Derek Rodriguez, Brian Johnson, big old Suarez out of Philadelphia. And then your only punt of the night is Alex Cobb at $4,900. Now let's talk about the bats on this big 9-game slate. But before we do so, let me talk to you about Draft. Draft.com. Draft in your app store. It is a great way to play fantasy sports. Snake-style draft just the way you like it. They have all sports, baseball, golf, RBC Canadian Open teed off today. You have football, hockey, basketball. They even have NFL best balls. It's one of the best places to play best ball. It's amazing. Great format. And when you make your first deposit, use promo code SD Sports at checkout, and you get entry into a free $3 tournament. So go check it out. Draft.com. Draft in your app store. Great way to play fantasy sports. And use promo code SD Sports when you check out to get entry into a free $3 tournament. Now let's talk about the bats on this 9-game Thursday slate. Kicking it off at the catcher's position, we'll see who's pitching for Washington, but Real Muto could be in play for you. But like Yasmani Grandal, if you're fading Sanchez, we did mention how the lefties can hit him very, very well. Salvi Perez against Sonny Gray is also a very solid choice in that matchup. And if you want to go below 4K, a guy like Buster Posey against Wade Miley at $3,700. You know, people say the ballpark, so they don't want to target Giants, which I totally understand. But when you got a guy like Wade Miley on the hill, you at least have to look at the Giants. Lefties 313, righties 318. The Giants have struggled tremendously versus lefties, though, so keep that in mind. Hell, maybe Wade Miley becomes a GPP play as the day goes on. If you want to find that out, join us in the Slack chat because, you know, this is all first look stuff. We get much deeper. Guys are throwing out info. It's getting way, way more active, and I absolutely love it. So join us in the Slack chat. A lot of good stuff going on in there. After Buster Posey at 3,700, you got the likes of maybe a Mitch Garver against Brian Johnson at 34. Elias Diaz against Steven Matz at 35. Diaz has been playing really well. He usually bats cleanup, which comes into play real nicely against a guy like Steven Matz. When you look at the Pittsburgh Pirates at 4.7 total, lefties 290, righties 332 off of Steven Matz. So something you can definitely look at when you're breaking that one down. Tucker Barnhart switch hitting at $3,200. He went ding dong yesterday as he's our favorite guy around that $3,200 range, somebody you could definitely take a peek at. Farther down you go, if Johnny Lucroy gets the start, he's 3K versus Bartolo Colon. The A's are definitely in play again today. Second highest total at 5.95 against Bartolo Colon. Lefties 363, righties 369, which is very, very nice. So Johnny Lucroy at 3K is in play for you. Sandy Leon versus Gibson, maybe at 29 if you need a sub-3 kind of guy. Below the 3K range, you'll see a few pop up, but not anything super sexy. Maybe like a Caleb Joseph or a Bruce Maxwell if he gets to start versus Cologne at 2,200, which I don't think he will because I think he's still in the minors. But it'd be nice if DK designated that because guys are going up and down these days. But those are some of the options you can look at the catcher's position. Obviously, now you could pop up getaway days going into Friday action and whatnot. First base, you got Max Muncy versus Anibal Sanchez. Muncy went deep again yesterday in a great spot against Anibal at 5K if you are fading Anibal. So I'm telling you, it's super risky. Like, you could easily use the Dodgers. Easily. But at the same time, Sanchez has been really, really good, and he's shutting down some big teams. So Muncy's there at 5K if you need him. But if you aren't using guys like Alex Cobb, CJ Cron at $4,800 went deep yesterday. He's a nice looking play there. Looks like Jake Bowers, absolutely love him as well at $4,500. He's first base outfield eligible. Good looking play there. He got 8 points for you yesterday as he stole a bag. Liked a little more out of him at that price point he's at now, but when you look at the Rays, you can definitely target lefties versus Alex Cobb. It's been a career-long thing. But my favorite first baseman is Matty Olson. It's been all lefties the whole week against Texas, and we targeted all that. And Matty Olson now gets Bartolo Colon at $4,400. So get on the Olson bandwagon as he's going to Ding Dong City today. He's going to enjoy the luxury that is Arlington, Texas, and some shitty pitching of the Texas Rangers. So go get on Matt Olson. Farther down you look, you could go to a Greg Bird at $4,200 because Jake Junis is horrible. Jake Junis gives up a lot of fly balls. Jake Junis gives up a lot of home runs, and in Yankee Stadium, this can be dreadful. The Yankees have a 6.2 team total. They lead the way against Jacob Junis. Lefties 338, righties 357. The Yankees, I rarely ever stack the Yankees because they're chalkier than chalk. Tonight might be one of those nights to just lock and load, find a couple cheap pitchers you like because they should, quote unquote should, baseball's fun that way where what should happen doesn't always happen. They should have a field day against Jacob Junis. It could turn into home run derby against Jacob Junis. So it's going to be chalk. It's going to be good. But Bird at 42 could be a nice piece of that puzzle, not named Stanton or Judge to make it a little different. When you slide down, you got Joey Gallo back home at $4,100 against Cahill. Cahill's been good, but he's also kind of sketchy at times. You got a Texas team with a 5-6 total, third highest on the slate. Lefties 277, righties 346. So Cahill's a reverse splits type guy, but with Joey Gallo, we're just looking for one swing out of him. We're not looking for a guy to go 3 for 4. We're looking for the long ball. So in the GPPs at 41, he's in play. Cody Bellinger at 4K versus Anibal Sanchez again. Same narrative there with the Dodgers. Sliding on down, though, you got a guy like Carlos Santana against Tyler Mahle in Great American Small Park. Mahle does give up a lot of hard contact. A Philadelphia team with a team total of 4.55. Lefties 382, righties 302. So Carlos Santana at 4K as the Phillies can be very much in play against Cincinnati. Justin Bour against whoever's pitching for Washington could be really nice at $3,900. You're going to get these Marlins at a bit of a discount because they're supposed to face Steven Strasburg. So Justin Bour at 39 could be very, very nice. Lucas Duda, if you think Sonny Gray struggles, Duda is a very intriguing play here because Gray does give up that hard contact, that short porch and right. Duda's averaging 7.4 over his last, 7.4 over his last 10 games. So he's starting to kind of get it going, coming off his latest DL stint. So in a GPP, to be super contrarian, Duda at 38 could be that home run call you're looking for. When you slide down to the 3,500s and below, first base is loaded as always. But, Ronald Guzman at 33 against Trevor Cahill. Not running to play that, but if you want to differentiate some Texas bats, you can. Sean Rodriguez is going to be a great play today. First base, second base eligible. Mashes left-handed pitching. He's $3,100 for Steven Matz. Probably rather use him at the second base position. But Shawnee Rod at $3,100 will be a very popular play, a very nice value play. Second base. Dozier, I already mentioned it earlier. If you're not using Brian Johnson on the hill, which you might need to for value, Dozier at 48 is an outstanding play at the second base position. Jed Lowry, absolutely love as well, hitting third in that lineup. Second base, third base eligible against Colon at 44 is a great play. Cesar Hernandez at 44 against Mahle, not bad either. You got Joey Wendell, who's okay in a good spot. Gleyber Torres against Junis is in a good spot at 42. If you want to save some money, that's a really good second base play as well. Sliding on down to the 4K and below, Ruby Odor at 39. Absolutely love another big game from him last night. He is crushing the baseball in the second half so far. So Ruby Odor at 39, that's a savings actually, I think. That's a really good looking play there. Whit Merrifield at 39 is always on my cash game board. Going down even farther to the mid 3Ks, maybe starting Castro at 37, depending on who the Nats put out there. This Strasburg scratch changes a lot of things because you're going to get some nice value with the pesky Marlins, who have been hitting the ball pretty well of late. So definitely join the Slack chat as we'll break that down for you. Some good stuff there. Again, Sean Rodriguez, $3,100 as another option. As a punt play, he's first base, second base eligible. Going over to third base, Eugenio Suarez at 51 is a great play against Mr. Suarez of Philadelphia. Max Muncy at 5K, talked about him already. I don't mind some Anthony Rendon against Straley at 45. I'd rather go to Jed Lowry at 44, but Rendon will be contrarian in that matchup. If you aren't using Sonny Gray, Mike Moustakas at 43 is a very good GPP play to try to find the short porch in Yankee Stadium. I like that quite a bit. Sliding on down, though, you got like Matt Chapman at 4K, preferring against lefties, but okay versus righties. Again, Brian Anderson of the Marlins at 4K, depending on who the Nationals put out there. Travis Shaw at 38, bad ballpark shift, a little bit of value if you need him. Same with Rafael Devers at 36 versus Kyle Gibson, a value play if you need him. Just very, very inconsistent. You got a guy like David Freese. He's first base, third base eligible, going up against Steven Matz. He does hit lefties pretty well. He's $3,400. So he can be a cheapie for you there against Matz. We already talked about the Pirates. Nice total of 4.7. Righty's hitting 332 off Steven Matz. So you get some value with those Pirate bats. And then Charlie Culberson of the Braves. He's a value guy I like to target once in a while. Rich Hill, he's good. Not great, but he's good. And Culberson's third base outfield eligible. He's $3,300. When you look at the Braves, they have a 4.35 total. Lefties 369, righties 352 off of Rich Hill. So Culberson can be a value play at third base or in the outfield at $3,300. And then Adrian Beltre at $3,200 against Trevor Cahill's. You know, you prefer maybe a little more versus lefty, but overall it's still really, really cheap for upside, especially in a ballpark like that with a total like that. You could definitely do worse things in life. Shortstop, you got Bogarts is good. Gregorius in that matchup against Junis at 5K is outstanding. You go down to guys like Machado in a good spot. Trey Turner at 44, I like a lot. Against righties better than against lefties, so that could be a really good play. They'll get way overlooked today against Dan Straley. The Nats are always super inconsistent, which sucks, but they do have a 4.6 total. Lefties 369, righties 381 versus Dan Straley. So Trey Turner at 44 could be a very nice GPP play today. You got Marcus Semien in his really good matchup. Daniel Robertson, second base shortstop at 41 versus Cobb, like that as well. Sliding on down to the below 4K range, like Elvis Andrus at 38 in his great matchup at his ballpark there. Jordy Mercer is a guy I like to target versus lefties. A lot, he's 3,500. So he's a cheaper one you can look at the shortstop position. Maybe a Scott Kingery at 3,400. Maybe a Ahmed Rosario at 34 to punt. Brandon Crawford at 32 as a punt. So there are a couple punts for once. JT Riddle's only 3K against whoever Strasburg plays. So if you want to punt the position, JT Riddle, who's in a massive slump after that hot run he was on, he's 3K. So take a look at him. But him, Crawford. There's a few shortstop guys for once. Usually it's pretty bleak at the shortstop position. We have a couple to punt with if you want to, or you pick like a Trey Turner and get really contrarian. Going to the outfield to wrap her up, you got Mookie Betts at 5,900, Benintendi at 57, both really interesting spots there versus Kyle Gibson. They both went deep yesterday and didn't get credit for it because of the rain out. So did JD Martinez at 55. But you got Aaron Judge at 56, which is in a phenomenal spot versus Junis. Chris Davis went deep twice yesterday. I've played him every day in Texas. I don't know if I'll play him versus Cologne, but if I have the money, I will. He's averaging 13.1 his last 10. He has 6 homers in his last 10. His last few games, 34, 18, 26, 32. Yeah, I like that. I can play that. Going up against Big Sexy at 5,400, he's in play. You slide on down to Giancarlo Stanton at $4,900, Brett Gardner at 48. The Yankees, just whatever you can get in there, just make it happen because they're going to crush Junis. It's going to be chalky, though. So if you don't want to, that's why I usually, like I said, I usually don't play the Yankees because everyone wants to go play home run derby with them. But like Bryce Harper at 4,800 versus Dan Straley. Harper went deep yesterday. That's a really good play. Love me some Rhys Hoskins. He is on fire since the All-Star break. He's $4,700 versus Tyler Mahle. Mahle gives up a lot of hard contact. Here's Hoskins, 18, 12, 18, 18, 21. 8. So since the All-Star break, 8 or more. And then his last 5, 12 or more. And then 18 or more in 4 of those 5. He's been crushing baseballs. $4,700 for Reese's Pieces versus Mahle. You got Odubel Herrera at 46, also a great play there as well. Sliding on down, Jock Jams at 44 in your GPPs. Juan Soto's only $4,400 for Stan Straley. I think that's a really, really nice play for you there. Acuna Jr. at 43 versus Hill. And a GPP I can get behind it. I don't know if I want to pay that much. I'd rather pay more for Soto, but both intriguing options for you. Conforto is slowly heating up for the Mets. He's $4,200 versus Nick Kingham. He's averaging 10.1 his last 10. So you can keep an eye on him at $4,200 in that Mets lineup there. Still not the best ballpark, but definitely an option. Steven Piscotty, $4,100 versus Cologne. I can definitely get behind. He's hitting righties, he's hitting lefties, he's hitting everyone right now. Joey Gallo's 41. Mentioned Kevin Kiermaier, how much I liked him yesterday. He went deep. He's in a great spot, leading off versus Cobb again tonight. So Kiermaier 41 is a very, very nice play. The Rays and the Marlins, the Florida tandem are in really good spots today. I want to say the Marlins will be in a good spot. I'm guessing the spot starter is not going to be great, like an A.J. Cole or something like that. These two teams can really be sneaky GPP stacks, could be sneaky GPP pivots. A lot to like about Tampa Bay and Miami tonight. They're always risky, but they have tremendous upside at their price points and their matchups. Cody Bellinger at 4K in your GPPs. You can take a look there. Nick Williams, if he's in a good spot in that order, he usually is against right-handed pitching. He's 4K versus Mole, so he's a nice GPP option. Mentioned Brian Anderson already. You go down Dustin Fowler with the righty on the mound in Cologne. Fowler should get the start today, so keep an eye on him at $3,900. He can be a super cheap piece of that Oakland offense you can take advantage of. Sliding on down like Max Kepler at 30. Robbie Grossman at 37 versus Johnson. Love me some Adam Duvall at 37 versus Suarez. I think that's a really, really nice looking play for you there. Adam Jones is kind of in play at 36 as a value if you want him versus Tampa Bay on their bullpen game. Farther down though, like Cameron Maidman's been really hitting well. He's $3,500 by whoever Washington plays because that could be a nice cheaper outfielder. If Alex Verdugo gets to start, I mentioned yesterday when the lineups came out, he was batting fifth. He's cheap. He's $3,400 tonight. Got 8 points yesterday against Anibal Sanchez. If you're fading Anibal, a nice cheaper piece of the pie. So take a look at that one. And maybe if Chase Peterson's leading off for Baltimore, he's $3,400. He can be a cheap piece for you. But like Gorkys Hernandez at 34 versus Miley, I do like that quite a bit, especially if he's leading off. Mentioned Charlie Culberson at 33 for a discount for you earlier. Austin Slater, he's supposed to be facing all lefties for the Giants. He's $3,300. He can become a nice little play for you. He's not a great ball player by any means, but like he had three points 2 days ago. Game before that, 15, and then 5. He's got upside at $3,300, so he's not the worst punt, not the greatest punt, but he is a punt. So that's what we need to realize, and he's got the upside to get it done for you. Tochi of Texas, he's $2,900. He's been getting the start in center field. Carlos Tochi, every game they run with him a lot. He got caught fielding I think twice yesterday. Last 2 games, 5 and 10. $2,900. There are worse punts out there going against Trevor Cahill, so keep him in mind if you want to throw someone away and take a chance. He's there, and other than that, check lineups. There will be others on a 9-game slate with some nice hitting environments to target. Recapping your pitching real quick, you got Nick Kingham up top, Sonny Gray, Anibal Sanchez. That's 8K and above. In the 7K range, you got Derek Rodriguez, Brian Johnson, and Mr. Suarez. And then down below, you got Alex Cobb. So yes, pitching is dreadful today. You got the Yankees with the highest team total. We talked about them over and over again. The A's versus Bartolo, really, really nice. Texas versus Cahill. You could look at teams like the Reds versus Rangers Suarez, the Pirates versus Mats, the Nationals versus Straley, the Marlins now versus the Nationals. I think Tampa Bay's sneaky. There's a lot of ways to go on a slate with pitching as bad as it is. We talked about all the extremely high totals, so you can definitely mix and match and have some fun. Let's check out your GPP and wrap her up. Something to note in the Philadelphia-Cincy game, neither team has seen the starting pitcher, so no history there. But as you go down, C.J. Cron has taken Alex Cobb deep, 2 for 6, the double and a homer. Greg Bird and Aaron Judge have both taken Jacob Junis deep in small samples. Small sample, they faced him maybe one game, but they're getting 355 off of a 410 Woba and a 194 ISO. Gregory Polanco's taking Matt Steep. Not a lot of big. Here we go. Mookie Betts 6 for 12, 3 homers off Kyle Gibson. JD Martinez 9 for 27, a double, 2 homers. JBJ's taking him deep as well. JT Realmuto, that's against Strasburg, so these numbers don't matter anymore. Matt Weeder 6 for 8, 2 homers off Dan Straley. Ryan Zimmerman and Anthony Rendona both taking Straley deep. Manny Machado 6 for 12 with a double and 2 homers off Anibal Sanchez. Max Muncy and Logan Forsythe have taken Sanchez deep. Chase Utley 15 for 41, 5 doubles, 2 triples. Kind of a different Chase Utley these days. Robinson Chirinos has taken Trevor Cahill deep. Adrian Beltre 11 for 32 with 2 homers off of Cahill. Senshu Chu 5 for 13. Elvis Anderson 11 for 43. Matt Chapman's taken Bartolo deep. Jed Lowry 5 for 12, 3 doubles. Chris Davis taking him deep as well. Brandon Belt 5 for 10 with a triple and a homer off Miley. He left yesterday with an injury, so we'll see if he's in the lineup. But that's some great BVP. Buster Posey's hitting 360, 9 for 25, 3 doubles and a homer. And Hunter Pence is taking him deep as well. So that'll do it. That'll do it for your Thursday edition of Quick Hits. Lots going on. We got golf starting up today at the RBC Canadian Open. Got a Bench with Bubba, episode 108 out there with Joe Pisapia talking NFL and the Fantasy Black Book. So go check that out. Going to record episode 109 tonight. Recorded episode 73 of Around the Bases pod with Mo yesterday. Really good stuff. Should be dropping later today. Lots going on, so check us out online at thesportsdgens.com and at thesportsdgens. And please join the Slack chat. Lots of good stuff there. Just ask for an invite. We just need your email. We'll lock you in. But really good stuff there. And go give us a rate and review on wherever you listen to any of these Sports Degens podcasts. We really, really appreciate it. Help us grow the brand and keep things going the way we're going. But good luck on this 9-game slate. Hope everything goes well. I'll be back with you tomorrow. But this was MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Thursday, July 26th edition. I'm out.